This episode's brought to you by 6XD Gearbox. More on them later.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Minnoxide podcast. I'm your host, Harris, a.k.a. Minnoxide, man of many automotive aspirations, and I'm here with my Ford-loving co-host, Dan, Mr. Gunnet Garage, for the last podcast of our PRI trip.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
That yet?
I'm going to pass out during this episode. But nonetheless, shout out to Mr. Michael Narks of Drag Drive Repeat, because he got me hooked up with you, Mr. Tom Taschner.
Yes, sir.
Of Lucky 8 Performance. So why don't you go ahead, give us a little bit of a background of who it is, who you are, and honestly, we'll just go from there.
So yeah, my name is Thomas, but nickname Tom Taschner. I'm the owner and founder of Lucky 8 Performance. And I started my whole adventure actually with Lucky 8 and still living in Europe. So I'm originally from Austria. So you will hear a lot of and accents and all kinds of weird words probably. But I'm trying to do my best. And me, my wife, and my kid, we packed all our stuff in 23 and moved to the States and started from scratch with a shop and trying to live the dream here. And we do that so far. So
sure.
Yeah. I started to travel in, I think, 2017 to my first drag week. And I was in contact with Dennis Taylor a lot about through Facebook and Messenger. And we talked nearly every day for like 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
And then finally made up my mind and said, okay, well, you know what? I will pack my stuff and fly to Chicago and meet you guys in Cordova for the first drag week. And the rest is history. I was hooked about drag and drive stuff and
Sure.
all these people, and I can call them basically family, and they helped us a lot with the whole project. And
Sure.
yeah, now we're here and enjoying life.
So at that point, did you have a car at that point that you shipped over here, or how'd that work?
Well, I had a shop over there beside my main job. I worked for the Federal Railways as a technician for bridges and tunnels and stuff, so nothing correlated at all. And
Sure.
I had my own little performance shop on the side. We did a lot of drag racing. We don't have any official tracks, so we went to different countries: Hungary, Croatia, Germany, everywhere to find airports to drag race where they had little events and stuff. But it was pretty funny all the time. And then I built the car, and I had a shop for American cars. So I worked on American cars. I fixed them for people just to get a positive inspection. It's a pretty hard thing over there to get a positive inspection for anything that's kind of modified or older, because if there's a drop of oil somewhere, no chance. If there's a little bitty tiny piece of rust somewhere, no chance.
Sure.
Really?
So yeah, it's terrible. So
really?
That was one of the biggest reasons why we moved. I mean, can you imagine you want to put 245s instead of 235s on your car, and that's illegal, and you have to go through the government to get approved for having different tires on your car?
Wow,
That's just the bottom of everything. It's
Yeah.
like wild. I can tell you hours of stories and laws, but that's not why we're here. Yeah.
Well, we got a couple hours.
Yeah. So anyway, I had an 06 Duramax and I had my 78 Caprice that I actually planned to just do some things over the winter and drive it in season 2020 just as a road car. But then
This is over in Austria.
that was still over in Austria.
Okay.
And that was in 2019. I traded it for a Cadillac, a 63 Cadillac I had. I just traded it for work. And I found that Caprice in Facebook somewhere, and texted a guy. I saw he had 4, 5, 6 Cadillacs, and I had this one to restore actually. So I called him and said, hey, you want interested in trading for something? I have some vehicles in the shop. And he came by and we did a 1-to-1 trade. And so I got that Caprice that one of my ex-girlfriends owned before and one of my friends owned before. So I have a long history with that car. And then COVID hit us in 2020 and everything was closed and we couldn't do anything. So over there it was terrible. So I just took the whole car apart to the bare body, basically, started to rewire everything, found a crashed C6 Corvette and pulled that LS2 out of there, had 15,000 miles on there, and put a TH400 in there, painless wiring kit, and rebuilt the 10-bolt in the back. That wasn't the best idea in the end. And I shipped those 2 cars. When we planned all that stuff, I drove across Europe to Belgium and brought these 2 cars to the port and picked them up in Galveston.
Okay.
And we drove to Arkansas, still on Austrian license plates and stuff. So that was pretty.
That's cool.
That was pretty funny on gas stations. Like people like, what the heck is that? Yeah,
What's the This is gonna be weird for me because like you have people here that are into European cars, right?
Yeah.
And then, but to be over there and being into American cars, is there a pretty decent culture, or is it?
Well, actually, yeah. So you have very, very cool and rare cars over there.
Yep.
I have a good friend over there that has a hot rod museum. And if you as an American or like a hot rod lover, you walk through there, you would cry. That dude has parts. People would kill over here for that stuff.
Really?
It's crazy. He's doing trips every year for 2-3 weeks, just buying vehicles and fill them up with parts. And he had an old farmhouse and he built a museum out of it. So there's like a first floor with hot rods and dragsters and all kinds of cool shit. And then you have the old basements. It was like the old wine basements and stuff. And you walk through each of them, and this is just one is filled with flathead parts. One is filled with gauges. One is filled with Hemis and superchargers and all kinds of stuff you can't find anywhere anymore. You know. So, yeah, it's a pretty decent scene. It's a pretty weird scene in some kind of, but yeah, it's pretty big.
So, kind of go through your first drag and drive experience.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hold on. How did you even find out about drag and drive?
Well, through Dennis Taylor and Alex.
Okay.
So
you're just watching them on like YouTube at this point, or like
mostly Facebook.
Facebook.
So
okay.
I met Dennis in Facebook. I can't even tell you what year, and then we started to talk a lot about the differences in cultures and car scenes. And I told him the stories about all ridiculous laws, and he told me the stories about their badass cars they have and what they can do over here. And then in 2017, I saw my first drag week, and I was like, wow. You mean where I'm from? I told you, if you have the wrong tires on, you're done. If they pull you over, they take away your license plates and you're stranded, you know. And seeing a Bad Mero back in the days in 2017, running 8s there and driving from track to track was like totally insane for us, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so when you were in Austria, so you were only able to go, like, was there actual drag strips anywhere, or
No.
Okay.
There is one drag strip in Italy, but that's still just an airport. There's, I think, the only professional drag strip we have is in Germany once a year.
Okay.
That's the finals. That's the Nitro Olympics, they call that. Sanapod. But that's like a 2,000-mile trip, you know, for us.
Yeah.
And ship the car over to the UK. Then we have some tracks in Sweden and one in Malta down there. So that's basically it. So we had some prep tracks, but that's old Russian airports from World War II, you know, and pretty decent. We had tracks like old airports. People ran 624s, you know, but
oh wow,
every couple weeks, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, you were able to race there. But yeah.
So is it not a very big scene because it's so hard to?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I mean, if you go to the Nitros, you have everybody from every country in Europe coming to that one event to race there. So you have like 400 to 500 teams. But if you go to smaller events, there's a lot of like import. I mean, over there it's domestic. Volkswagen stuff is big, and you have to go to another country. So from my shop that I had, we had like 25 minutes to Hungary. We have 18 minutes to Czech Republic. We have 2 hours or 3 hours to Croatia. So we drove through multiple countries just to drag race for a weekend somewhere.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So then, when did you end up meeting Michael Narks?
I met Mike, I think on Sick Week.
Sick Week? Okay.
Yeah, my first Sick Week was in 22. That was actually, I guess, the first Sick Week. And I just packed my stuff and took a flight into Tulsa, took a rental car and enjoyed the first Sick Week. And that's where I met Tom Bailey and Dave Schroeder and all these people. We are pretty good with them. I'm very happy to know so many people, and they're great guys, great people, and they helped us a lot to go to the races, and just really cool. And I think I met Mike on, was it Drag Week 22 or 23? I can't remember. Yeah, actually. It was over a friend that I met him. He races Sick Week and some other events in a Volkswagen.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I saw him at Sick Week and said, man, that's so cool. It's like a Volkswagen. That's the stuff I know from over there doing racing. So I just started to talk with him, and he's also from Arkansas, and he's pretty good with Mike. And
Yep.
I think I met Mike through him.
Okay.
That's Brandon with a Volkswagen MK7.
Yep. So, and then what did racing look like? Did you were you doing several events throughout the year, or just the one event, or?
Well, you mean overseas?
No, over here. Once you got here.
Well, we did. We never raced any drag and drive. We took the car to Sick Ward, and we took the car to LS Fest and different things, and finally ready to convert the car to be a drag and drive car. So I have to build a cage. I built a 4.8 twin turbo motor for it, and I have to do a lot of work on the car to make it compatible. Compatible. Is that the right word?
For what?
To make it work good.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
compatible.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Sometimes I need help with
No,
words.
that's all
so-
good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, English
Well,
is my
you're-
second language too.
Your love for drag racing has to be pretty big then. If you're over there, you're going against the grain, driving all over the place just to drag,
Yeah.
and then you move all the way over. I mean, was
Yeah.
that basically your main motivation for moving over here?
To be able to do more and do more drag racing and
Be able to modify
Yeah,
your car
yeah,
as you want
yeah.
and all that stuff. Okay.
my biggest motivation was to be able to open my own shop and work on like really cool stuff, not just
Okay.
fixing normal cars and stock
Like
cars
Volkswagen
for
TDIs.
inspection. No, I never worked on these. you know.
Okay.
I had a lot of older cars and from the 50s, 60s,
Okay, sure.
a lot of trucks. I built a lot of lifted trucks because that's something that's kind of possible. But then still, if you have a lifted Duramax with like 37s and bumpers and the standard truck from here, you need another 5 to 6 grand just in paperwork to make it street legal somehow.
Holy shit.
So that's wild.
They still run like DEF fluid systems and stuff like that over there
yeah,
too.
it's the same.
Okay.
It's called AdBlue where we are, so it's basically the DEF system. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never had one with a DEF system.
Okay. It's not. I don't know. I took mine off and threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, that's no. I would never ever do that
Yeah.
because that's illegal. So
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I live
allegedly,
over here.
Dan.
Yeah.
Allegedly, we're getting big time now. The
I don't
EPA is
care.
listening.
Come
yeah.
get me.
I mean, me as a business owner, I can't afford to do anything illegal. So
Right.
Exactly. You still have to play by some rules over here too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about this car then. So so you only have the one project, or do you have a variety of cars, or?
Well, I have a pure drag car that I built over 4 or 5 years, and that was my biggest and most expensive and wildest project I ever built. The car is still overseas in my locked in my friend's storage room, a storage shop behind his business, and I would love to bring that car over. And I found a fuel altered dragster in the Netherlands somewhere. The owner died, the driver's too old, and the widow sold it. And I found it on a motorsports marketplace that we have over there in Europe on a homepage. I said, man, that thing is so cool. So let me go back a little bit. So I started doing drag racing. I had a Caprice station wagon. I had a K5 Blazer. That was the K5 Blazer. I bought that thing when I was like 18, and that was my first contact with American cars. I went to my local gas station in my little town where I'm from, and I had was it a Honda or a Hyundai or whatever, and I stopped at the pump, and they had a little shop and the car wash and stuff, and I saw something in that shop, just a huge, massive grill, and I said, wow, what is that? So I talked to the guy. I said, oh yeah, that's a like 89 K5 Blazer, and it's a piece of crap, and the fuel tank is leaking, and I would love to sell it. Give me $2,500 and you can keep it. You can have it. I said. I drove home to my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, can you give me $2,500? I have to buy a car." He said, "What the hell? You have a car? what kind of car you need?" I said, "Well, I want to buy an American car." And he said, "You stupid? You're crazy! Like, gas is $7 to $9 a gallon. You know where we're from." So I said, "You're crazy. You can't afford that. You can't buy that." But then finally, I reminded my dad. Said, "Hey, I mean, I know all your stories about Volkswagen with Porsche motors and all that stuff." So he was like, "Yeah." Well, there you have. So I bought my first Blazer, and then I started to modify it. I made a pickup out of it. I put a body lift in there. Then I met a cool dude. He was the main guy for American Motors and Corvettes and stuff in Austria, 2 hours away from my hometown.
Sure.
So I contacted him and said, "Hey, so I have an idea." I had no clue what I'm doing. I started to pull the transmission. I had 1,000 questions, So, and then after 1 or 2 years, he started to build me a 355 small block with a 144 wine supercharger on it and a TH400, and that's when we started to do the first performance things. It was a slow turd still,
Sure.
But it was funny. It was loud. It was totally legal over there. And and then
Probably got a lot of attention too.
Yeah.
You're over here now, don't worry.
From
they're
the
not
wrong
coming
people.
for you.
What?
So you're over here now, they're not coming for you, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Next time I visit my mom, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I just got 40, so that was when I was like 18, 19, 20 in that area. And then I sold that Blazer and I bought my first. That was when I started to work on other people's cars, because I had a little bit of experience, and then people came like, oh, he can modify a car, so I will bring them my Caprice. And the guy had a crash and the tire was like crooked as hell, and so he brought me that Caprice, called me 2 days later, hey, I can afford to fix it, like give me $1,500 and you can keep it. So that's when I started to have my first Caprice. This was his 85 station wagon, and I planned to put that motor in there. And then the guy that built the 355 for me, he was big in drag racing. He had a 68 Camaro with he started out with a CJ7 with a big block, like a 572 big block.
Sure.
Totally crazy car. And then he had a 68 Camaro that he bought from Sweden with a 632, with a 1471 little field blower, like a brutal methanol car. And so I started to help him out, went to races with him, and he showed me a lot of stuff and teach me a lot of things. And I ended up buying that motor later on, but I will come to that a little bit later. And so I went to drag races. So I was hooked. I have to do something. So I put that 355 in my station wagon.
When you get to a certain level in a build, whether it be drag racing or drifting, road course, or just a badass street car, you'll have to upgrade your transmission. And when we're talking sequential transmissions, there's no one on the planet with a stronger gearbox than 6XD. And the proof is in the pudding here, folks. Half the FD field is rocking a 6XD, and even 3,000 horsepower Vipers have not been able to tame the best that 6XD has to offer. So if you're ready to take it up a notch, go to 6xdgearbox.com, and when contacting them to place an order, use code Minnoxide5, or reach out via socials to figure out how one of the baddest transmissions on the planet could fit in your build. Let's get back to the show.
Yep.
But then I thought about that a lot, and if you want to do anything drag racing related and be compatible at the track, there's no reason to drive it on the street anymore. If you want to be street legal, you don't have to drive on the track. It's stupid. So I found that Fuel Ultra dragster based on an old funny car chassis from the 80s in the Netherlands. So I sold the Caprice, the station wagon, as a roller, and dropped it off in somewhere in Germany on the way to pick up that dragster. And then I raced that thing. I brought that thing down. We had to cut off the cage, and because the guy that drove the car was basically your size.
Yeah.
So it was kind of tight, but the cage ended like here on my shoulder height.
Sure.
So,
You're so cute, Dan. You're a little guy.
Yeah.
so we cut up that, and a local fabrication shop, they're building like construction stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing race car related, nothing. They bent me and welded me a weird looking cage. Looked like a Darth Vader helmet from the back, because he made like the cage, and then he made like hoops around my shoulder, so from the back that car looks like Darth Vader, So it was, the Darth Vader car is here at the tracks. If you flip, it was a flip up body, so I cut up the front and we narrowed the whole body so it looked like a weird hot rod.
Sure.
And then I said, okay, so that thing ran like 9.1s on 355 with a little bit shot of nitrous, ran like 9.1s, 9.0s flat. And then I said, okay, I need more, how it is, I need more. That's the max I can get out of that car. So I took the whole car apart and I found a chassis guy that rebuilt me the cage part, like professionally chromoly, good, how it should be. And then I started to rebuild the car with my buddy's motor, with that 632 and a 34 Ford fiberglass body, a BTE Power Glide, and all the good stuff. I was deep in that stuff that time. Yeah, the car is basically ready to go. We started it end of 19. We brought it to the track. I rolled around on the local airport a little bit to test it, and then COVID came. Then I started to build that Caprice.
Okay.
And that dragster is still like it is in my buddy's storage. And
Okay.
But I would love to like continue that project and bring it over and really do a pass with it,
Sure. So then you started building the Caprice at that time frame. So what's that? What's that build?
Well, right now, it started out as a stock 78 Caprice with a 350 small block with different heads and cam, and that's when I traded it for that Cadillac. And then I think we came to PRI in 19 and I bought a Harley Terminator kit, like the TBI fuel injection kit, and then I just collected some parts and found that Crash C6, bought that LS2 with 15,000 miles. So it's a full aluminum, it's an LS2, it's a Harley, it was a Harley TBI, it didn't work out too good with that big cam, so I went to a multi-port injection. It's a Harley HP TH400. Now there's a 49-inch in there, and Harley dash, Kirky seats, a lot of UMI parts, suspension-wise. We went to, I think, Drag Week 2019, the last one before COVID, and that started somewhere around Pennsylvania. So I just texted UMI. I said, "Hey, so I'm close. I would love to buy some parts. Can I swing by?" And that guy Remy texted me back, "Yeah, you can come by." So we ended up there, talking for 5-6 hours there. They showed us everything, the production, the race cars, and we became friends. And I'm meeting these guys every year, and it's pretty cool. And they made me a good deal on a bunch of parts. We just talked about getting front suspension from them too.
Okay.
And so now I built a 408 stroker with twin turbos. Got a great ISKI cam and lifters for that car. Have to upgrade the transmission and trying to start to build my own cage. I bought a bunch of sticks of chromoly and a JD Bender last year, and we'll see how that works out.
So go for it.
Well, what are you doing? So now you're over here. You're working on this car.
Yeah.
And so you have a performance shop then? Are you building some other cars then? Or you got customers coming in?
I mean, my plan was to start a performance shop like Lucky 8 Performance, but we came over in January 23, and then it took me a couple months to build up the shop. I basically started with an empty shop, empty hall, like building.
Yep.
Also, special thanks to Dennis Taylor for it, because they did fiberglass bodies and stuff for a long time, and they stopped doing that some time ago. And so he had that fiberglass building just using as a storage. So we together, we moved everything in the back half. We put a wall up, and the front part is my own shop now. Okay. And I started to do basically everything. I had my lifts in there. I had my tools, like a lot of basic stuff. And I started to work on customer stuff, like everything, basic maintenance, oil changes, brakes, a lot of rewiring stuff, because that's a terrible thing down there, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I started to have the first cooler stuff, the first older stuff, and some exhausts and some wiring. And then it snowballed from there. I hired my first guy in August 24. And I told him it's like first time. He's a young boy, was like 23, fresh from school, worked 2 years in a maintenance shop. Mm-hmm. And that's also a pretty funny story. I put out an ad in Facebook that I'm looking to hire somebody.
Sure.
And 5-6 people came by, and there was nothing interesting and kind of weird people. And then a guy sent me an email, said, "Hey, so I saw your ad and you're still looking for somebody." I said, "Yeah, I'm still looking for somebody." He came by. His name is Max, and he was a cool dude. He's knowing his stuff. He has his own tools. He did a lot of projects, and he's very, very good with like maintenance and diagnostics and stuff. So, and I asked him, "Hey, how do you find my ad? Because you sent me an email." Nobody sent me an email. Many people just texted me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. He said, "Well, they had an exchange student from Germany in his school, and they're still in contact. And she knows me from Instagram. So she saw the ad and texted him, 'Hey, there's a guy like 25 minutes away from you, a performance shop, looking for somebody.'" Wow. And I said, "That's actually pretty cool." So the girl in Germany texted him to text me, to send me an email. So yeah, and he started I told him it will be part-time, probably till end of the year. We'll see how everything works out. And it took a month. I had to hire him full-time because they flooded us with stuff. Mm-hmm. And then my wife is working for Nick Taylor. She's running Nick Taylor's shop, Nicky Bobby Inc. So we got some customer through him, building twin turbo Camaros, fixing drag cars and stuff. So yeah, I would say it's 50-50 right now.
Sure.
I would love to go like 100% performance and more fabrication. Bought my first CNC plasma cutter.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
to
those
do
are fun.
brackets and learn to do anything on a computer because I never used any CAD programs before.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that works out pretty good too. And we're excited about all the opportunities we have over here and all the cool people we met over here. And
I would keep your general maintenance around as long as you can. It's that whole performance. Most of those guys get burnt out on it after a while. It's not.
Yeah, I heard that.
As your customer base starts to grow, then so do your problems sometimes. But
yeah, no, my plan is to let that whole operation grow anyway. But
Yep.
I will never ditch that maintenance part.
Right.
So even if I ever build my own shop or whatever, like bigger or own property or future plans, I want to have like a 50-50 thing.
Right.
I just bought my first dyno used from a guy in around next town.
Okay.
So I want to
Okay.
do the dyno stuff.
What kind of
and
dyno?
It's a DynoJet
DynoJet?
224X, used one. It's like 20 years old.
Sure.
But he just upgraded the software and all the sensors, and so it's basically like everything is brand new except the drum itself.
Right. Yeah.
And that's I want to let the operation grow. I mean, I have to because we hear on something that's called E2 visa. So that's a self-employment entrepreneur visa, basically. So you have to create jobs, serve the community, So I have to create jobs for U.S. citizens and all that stuff. So my plan is to let everything grow anyway and hire
Yeah.
more people, and we'll see how far we can get it. Everything,
How'd you decide on? And sorry, where are you at?
In Boonville, Arkansas.
Okay. What made you decide to settle in there?
Well, Taylors are good friends and business partners since
Okay.
years. So, and they helped us a lot with organizing stuff, organizing things, paperwork. So, 1,000 thanks to everybody
Sure.
that was involved for that gave us a chance to, hey, come over here. We have a location for you. They, Debbie Taylor's mom rented us our first house here for the first 3 years, So we owe them everything basically. That they gave us the chance to be here and do what we love.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So how does that work then? So is there for the E2? Is there a timeline? Like
Yeah, it's 5 years.
5 years. You have to
So the
build?
visa is 5 years. The visa is just to enter the United States at a port, like an airport. And as soon as you enter, a 2-year status, like a immigration status, starts to run. So every 2 years before that status expires, we have to leave and come back. So basically just 1 week vacation for Christmas overseas,
Sure.
come back, another 2 years.
Okay.
So that's the only
Kind of like
this is
check
it.
in almost.
basically.
Okay.
Just to be, hey, you're still here,
Right. Okay.
It's you obviously have the opportunity then to get full citizenship at some point in time. You guys plan on pursuing
Never through that visa. That's called a non-immigrant visa. So
Yep.
you can renew that till you die, as long as you still have your business and everything is still operational and working and
Okay.
that? Okay.
not a problem. And especially if you hire people and if it's a good operational business, you make a lot of revenue every year, a little bit more. You let everything grow. There's really not a problem to renew it, but the biggest problem is we have a 3.5-year-old daughter. She was 7 months when we came over with her. and
Okay.
She will lose the visa when she's 21 through us, So it kind of sucks, but
Not if she takes over dad's business. Maybe.
then I will lose my business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then
you
I
got
will
20 years to
then
figure
I
it
will
out.
lose my then I will lose my visa.
Oh okay.
So
well,
it's-
she needs to
it's-
start another one then.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, she can do that. She can meet a guy and get married, or
Yeah.
Sure.
no. My ultimate goal is to be able to stay here. So
Right.
we have no intention to continue our life overseas.
Right.
But we'll see how everything works out. We have some more years to
Sure.
find a way. Let me say it like
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you are you able to attend a lot of events? Are you always working? How often are you able to get out to the track?
Well, we have a little local 8-mile track, like 40 minutes from the shop.
That's close,
so
yeah.
they have a test and tune every other week. So you can drive there for $20
Yeah.
for a couple hours. So that's what we do a lot of times with customer cars, with own cars, or just hang out with friends. And then we go to Tulsa. That's 2.5 hours
Okay, that's
to
not
some
bad.
events. And LS Fest in Dallas is like 4.5 hour trip. So
Okay.
it's not too bad. But stuff like Sick Week, everybody's asking me, you're going to Sick Week, doing Sick Ward and stuff. It's an 18-hour drive and the week of not working in a shop. So
That's tough.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Sure.
Because I want to finish my car, and my goal, my deadline is the circuit, my Knox event. So I want to have my first rollout and test the car there, and to see if I can do stuff like 6 Summer, Drag Week, or whatever.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and actually make it to that one this year. So we know it got canceled last time. So
to
we
Sick
wanna
Week?
go. Yeah, no,
Oh,
the
circuit.
Oh, the circuit? Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like a great event. I planned to do it last year, at least just with my Caprice like it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What else
life
got
happens.
canceled
And
too this year?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about last year? Or are you talking about earlier this year? Because this year we were driving down to attend.
No, it was last year.
Okay,
year, yeah.
sure.
I planned to be at least be there. He asked me, hey, you can come by. I mean, you don't have to be like stupid fast. I said, yeah, I mean, car runs 1150s now, like it is.
Sure.
So,
Ooh, that'd have been.
So-
You and I might have been in the same class.
with you?
Yeah.
Huh.
My car would probably run 11s, low 11s maybe.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because that thing is a boat. It's like a Caprice. It's a full size.
Yeah.
3,600 pounds car.
Well, mine weighs 4,300.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got 760 horsepower, so it's
Okay,
and a
mine
DCT
is
transmission.
Mine made like 508 on a dyno, so
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
a cam, valve spring, Holly intake thing. It's not a big build, but with the new 4.8 stroker and a lot of good parts,
Yeah.
hopefully 850s would be my goal because
Okay.
I still want to have like a pure street car and not a funny car
You
cage
said
and stuff.
850
in there.
horsepower or
No,
time?
850s on the quarter mile is my
Time,
goal.
okay,
so, because I don't want to do a funny car cage and all that stuff, at least for now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now how often are you doing customer builds then? Do you have a lot of people coming in right now? I guess are you
That started to be way more this year, yeah. So we just talked to a guy 2 weeks ago that got screwed by another shop, and we agreed to build him to finish his project. Basically, it's a
Okay.
fully forged 5.3. He is on a Pro Charger now, but we probably switch it to turbo. It's a stick shift car. It's I think an 03 Cat-Eye truck. So that's some big builds. I met a guy. One day a guy came in and said, hey, I have an 03 GMC truck, and that's another project we did. And well, I want you guys to build me a cool truck out of it. You know, I said, yeah, okay, man, yeah, why not? That didn't take him serious, you know. A lot of people come in, oh, I wanted this, I wanted that. So I thought it's another dude from around town that talks crap. But like a month later, that dude came in and like stack of money, said, here, like start the project, and I was like, well, this guy's serious. So yeah, we took the whole truck apart. We put in a fully forged 6.2, a little Vortec Pro Charger, fully built B&M 480 transmission, a quick performance 9-inch. We tried to build our own harness, so that was very interesting for my employee because he never did. He did like wire nuts and stuff like that.
Ah.
Get it in and out the shop really quick. So I said, hey, that's how I like it. That's how I want to do it, and so please learn to do it. So, and he's enjoying wiring now. So he built the whole wiring harness for that twin turbo 3rd gen we built for a guy, and he's really proud of like doing everything loomed and like soldered and like really nice bulkhead connectors. So he's really enjoying that wiring part now.
That's rare, man.
Yeah,
People do not like
he's
wiring.
really enjoying that. I said, man, that's. I mean, I would do it like this. It looks great. It's really quality work, and I forgot what I wanted to tell you.
Trucks are a big thing down there. Are you getting people wanting to go through with lifted
that
trucks?
that truck. No, not a lot of lifted trucks. It's
Do they want the
lowering.
squatted trucks?
Yeah, no.
Do you get those
we
customers?
I had 2 or 3 guys like, hey. I said no, hell no.
Nice.
The
Good
guy
job.
came by with ones that just to get a tune and whatever. I said, no, just please leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to work on it. I don't want to see it, and nothing. It's,
That's good. I'm glad that you're from another country and you still don't like it.
It's terrible.
All right.
And, it was funny. There's an Arkansas group for like terrible cars and trucks and squatted things, and just people like post pictures. Hey, there's another one. Hey, there's another one. So on my way to work, there is It's a Blazer. I think it's an S10 or whatever. It's terribly squatted. It's like literally like this.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So I snapped a picture on my way to work and posted in that group. And never saw that car again. They have a shop behind the house, so when I drive by, I see it's all the way back there hidden because it was right on the main road there before. And one day I went to the local gas station in the morning and grabbed a Red Bull and trying to pay, and that lady there, hey, why you don't like my son's truck? I was like, what truck? And she said, well, they want it so low in the back. I said, oh, now I remember that truck. Yeah, the guys roast him in online now. I said, yeah, well, I'm very sorry, but that truck is just stupid, you know.
I wouldn't be sorry. He deserves it for that one.
Yeah, I was just surprised because it was his mom. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
so random.
why do you like my son's truck? I said, oh, I'm sorry. You know.
You're probably going to need to ship your car soon, or know somebody that will. And as someone who used to work in freight logistics, I understand the difficulties of finding reliable transport, especially when trying to make it to rallies, racetracks, or to warehouse to hide your Corvette, because you're going through a messy divorce, and when she says everything, she means everything. Anywho, Nick Shearer is the proud owner of Sure Thing Logistics. Having traveled much of the country with every type of vehicle you can imagine, he's got the experience and reliability that you want to ensure a safe journey for your pride and joy. If you want to find out what it takes to ship your vehicle, go to surethlinglogistics.net, fill out the intake form, and be sure to let him know I sent you. Let's get back to the show.
Because it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but yeah, it sucks.
Wait till she sees this again.
It's terrible. And especially down there, they made it illegal this year.
Oh, did
Okay.
they?
So
Yeah.
if you have a difference from 4 inches between front and back bumper, it's like $1,000 ticket, and they can revoke your license and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
they're pretty serious down there right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to
I
hear.
told one of my customers, you should be careful now because your gasser has more than 4 inches. And I said, the cop said, I don't care about a gasser. That's cool, you know.
Yeah.
But these trucks are just, yeah, stupid.
Did you send your truck over here too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
okay.
an 06 Duramax truck, and that was one of the biggest and most lifted trucks in the country for a period of time.
Yeah.
Has an 8.5 inch McCarthy lift and was on 39s, a custom built bumper and all kinds of stuff. And
Oh, really?
the first one I built was an 03 Cummins Ram. That was in a 6.5 on 37s, and I built. That's a cool story. I built big ass stacks in the back, like 6-inch black chrome angle cut stacks. And I started to do that, and people said, man, you crazy. You could never drive that on the road here. People never saw that on a pickup truck in that country, you know? And so I went to the state ref, and they're like, what the heck, you know? But then I discussed, so a pickup truck over there is basically the same like a semi-truck. It's just a different weight class and license.
Okay.
But it's considered as a truck. So you have the same rules, the same laws, the same inspections, the same taxes. So you pay just a capped tax thing because we have horsepower related tax there.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
for one of these things, you would pay a shit ton of money a year. So, but these are capped with like $864 or whatever a year, no matter if it's 150 horsepower or 900. So, and I went to the guy and said, "Yeah, we can't get that exhaust street legal." I said, "Why?" Yeah, because we can't do it. I said, "No, I want to know why." No, because we can't do it. I want to know, like, show me why. Because that Mercedes semi-truck has it, all these cabovers we have, that Scania has it, that Volvo has it, so there's no difference. This is a Class 1 truck, this is a Class 2 truck. So where's the difference? So then finally they put it in my paperwork as a modified tailpipe.
Okay.
Because the muffler was still stock, I just moved the muffler a little bit more forward and just went through the bed and made a big stainless Y pipe and put a 6-inch stacks on there. So that was the first basically pickup truck stack exhaust that was street legal there. Some people followed because now they knew it's kind of working. So
Right.
I sent them copies of my title, because in our titles every modification, bolt, noise, emissions, everything is in your title. So if you get pulled over, a cop can check everything.
Sure.
every
Okay.
modification wheel. The first thing they check is what kind of tires you have, because it's easy to check. And then they have dimensions from the center of your wheel to the fender lip, so they can measure if the car is too low, too high, too whatever. And so I sent copies to a bunch of people, and they were able to make it street legal then too. And then I sold that thing, and then I said, okay, I have to build something crazier now. But the Dodge was basically on the limit, so I bought that Duramax and put an 8.5-inch lift in, 37s, custom bumpers, all kinds of stuff. And I was able to make that street legal too. So that was one of the biggest trucks over there. And
How'd you get away with the lift and all that stuff? Was that an issue?
You just have to find the right words, you know?
Sure.
Because if you read the law, it tells you you're not allowed to put bigger tires. I think you can 8% bigger in diameter. No, not in diameter.
Diameter would be like how wide the circle
No,
is.
the
circumference.
Yeah,
Okay.
that word. So you're allowed to do 8% bigger, but 8% bigger of the biggest version they ever built from factory.
Okay.
So apparently they built a Duramax Power Wagon with 35s.
Oh. That
They
works
probably
out.
never did, but they don't know that, you know. So we made paperwork for that. So I said, oh yeah, it's like 6%, so from 35s to 37. So you're good. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, and then 20 centimeters lift. I have no idea what's that in inches from stock height. So apparently that Power Wagon was lifted from factory. So
Okay.
you have to find the right arguments with these people,
Sure, no, that
because
makes sense.
they're sticking to their laws, but they have no clue about the outside world. You know, if you bring them a Volkswagen, they know every freaking bolt. If you
Right.
bring them a Duramax, they have, okay.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's some kind of American car.
That makes sense.
And I spent so much money and time in that truck that I said, you know what, I take it with me. People ask me if I'm crazy. You spend money to ship that truck over there. You can buy, like, on every corner you can buy a new one. I said, yeah, but I can't buy mine.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and it's 220,000 miles, still strong. We drive it every day, drive it in the snow, pull my Caprice to Florida all the way, getting 6 miles to the gallon. It's great, yeah. It's on 39s now, so
What'd you say?
it's on 39-inch tires now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't have that rule.
Yeah.
We don't have that rule on the percentage.
So, yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. The first thing I did is I cut off my exhaust and put a 5-inch straight pipe exhaust on there.
Yeah.
My buddy was, why you spend money to modify your car to make it loud? I said, because I can now. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I don't have to do it, but I kind of have to do it now
Yeah,
because
right.
it's just
Sure.
cool and nobody cares. And it took me over a year to make up my mind a little bit that when I worked on something or when I talked about a project or did some stuff on my car, I thought way too much about things, you know. And then friends of mine, hey, don't think too much. You're here now. Half of your brain is still, can I do that? Yeah, you can, you know,
Yeah.
because it's legal. So it took some time to
Sure.
click, you know.
What's your favorite, whether it's customers or personally, what's your favorite brand to work on? Is it GM
Chevys,
stuff?
GM stuff, Chevys,
Okay.
yeah. Trucks, cars, full-size cars, older stuff.
Sure.
Sorry to hear
Actually,
that.
if you go in my shop right now, you would think I'm a Ford guy because I have a 68 Pro Touring Mustang from a customer in the shop now to do suspension work and adjust the clutch. I have a 57 Ford Fairlane with a 4.8 stroker and coilovers and stuff in the shop from a guy that bought the car on the stage, shipped it to Germany, built it there, used it there for some years, and he moved to Texas 14 months ago. So he came up and German dude came up and brought the Austrian dude the
Yeah,
car to work
yep.
on us. It's pretty cool. Said, I don't know anybody, I don't trust anybody, I bring you the car. I said, yeah, I mean, whatever, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And a 22 Mustang with a supercharger kit and stuff. We had on the dyno a couple weeks ago, made 900 crank or so. Toyota
Okay.
power.
Sure.
Are you
So,
doing
yeah.
any tuning then, or are you tuning GM stuff, or?
Well, I have 2 or 3 people I work together. I don't do my own tuning. I do
Okay.
I do my tuning stuff on Harley and on my own things, but I'm not comfortable with that HP tuner stuff, and
Right.
so I have 2 or 3 people working remotely for that, and that works out pretty good.
Okay.
I want to learn more to be able to do this stuff by myself, especially buying a dyno now. But yeah, we have a good dude like 2 hours away. He's doing a lot of work for friends of mine, and so a friend of mine has a shop there in Russellville, Arkansas. And he gave me the context that, hey, he's tuning all our cars, and a guy in Dallas is tuning all our HP tuner stuff. So that works out pretty good so far.
Sure. Okay.
Never had a problem.
So what are your plans then for the next like 2 or 3 years? Are you just try to expand as rapidly as possible, or?
Well, I'm trying to keep everything kind of like it is for now, because we have to renew the first time the visa deal in 27. So the thing is, it's pretty risky, because if the last word is a USCIS officer in the embassy in Vienna, like an officer from the States, and he has the last word when we do the renew interview. So if he don't like your face, he can say no.
Sure.
And then you lose
Yeah.
everything. You can't even come back to sell your stuff, pay you, like, grab your boxer shorts from the house, you know? You
Sure.
It's hard. So even I would love to grow as fast as possible, but still have in mind I have a family, I have a kid, and we can lose everything over here
Sure.
if things are not working out for us. So, but that's a risk. It is what it is, you know. And
Sure.
I told my wife I want to do that. If I want to sit, even if we don't make it, that was the biggest adventure of our life, you know. And I can sit with 70, 80 and said, man, we had some great years. Not sitting there, man, I wish I did it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing.
exactly.
And we basically left everything behind, like family, friends.
Sure.
Just started from scratch.
What do they all think about you coming to the United States and just building American cars all day long, diesel trucks?
Well,
and
90% of my friends like, oh, you're stupid, you're crazy. You, some other friends, mechanics, stuff. Oh, you will never make it over there because they're like better people than you. I said, yeah, there are probably a shit ton of better people than me, but I do my best, and that's hopefully good enough, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
And,
How did you get into working on cars? What was the first car you worked on?
The first car I had was a 2009 Kia Sportage that my dad gave me
Okay.
when I made my license with 18. Said, here. My dad was a hunter, and he had a Volkswagen, like an old Rabbit,
Sure,
forward
yeah.
drive. That was his hunting
Yeah.
vehicle for
Like a Mark
driving in the
II or
woods.
what?
MK2, yeah.
Okay.
And I was too big for it to drive it around.
yeah.
you know? So,
I'm a big boy. I don't fit in one either.
so my dad bought that Kia Sportage, and we shared it. I drove a little bit, and he drove it to go hunting and stuff. And then we blew up the motor. And then we found a Hyundai Elantra GT, whatever.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a weird deal, because a local Dodge dealership, we don't have Dodge dealerships anymore, but that guy had Ferrari, Fiat, Dodge, and Jeep and stuff, and Hyundai. Hyundai? Yeah. And he had that car on the lot, and it looked kind of weird. I never saw that version. It had body kits, had a big exhaust pipe, and I drove it. It was kind of rattly and loud, and said, so what's the deal behind that? He said, oh, well, there was a Elantra GT challenge. So we bought 19 cars, modified it for the rule book and stuff, raced it. After 1 year, they canceled the whole deal and said, we have 19 of these cars around, so we kind of put the stock interior back in and try to sell it. So that was one of my first cars I started to wrench on. And my dad was big in cars, big BMW fan. So he sadly passed away in 21, but he left me the car that he bought a year before I was born. So I still have that car.
Oh wow. Okay.
And yeah, so my dad was into cars, but mostly Volkswagens and Porsches. And
Sure.
then he converted cars to LPG, like liquefied powered gas or whatever, because gas was so expensive, and a lot of import cars were just like gas guzzlers. And so he drove most American cars you can imagine from the 60s and 70s. When they got imported, they converted them, and then they brought it to customers. So he drove Chargers, at least just down the road, all kinds of stuff, what they converted back in the days. So yeah, that's something I got from him, I guess.
Do you have any interest in like road course? Anything with turns? or not really?
Yeah, that was fun. I did stuff like that a little bit when I had my Audi time because I had 5-cylinder turbo Audis,
Oh,
two
yeah,
or three. I still missed the last one I sold, and that was the time where that stuff was dirt cheap. I bought my first S4 and S6 for like $3,500. You know, I drove them for a couple of years, and then I sold it for $6,500. And said, "Man, I made a profit. That's so cool."
Are you talking like B5s or
no C4s.
C4? Okay.
The first S models they had.
Oh yeah, it's
the
like
Audi
90s.
Yeah, it's like 91 to 96. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And I love these cars. Big boats, 5-cylinder turbo, great sound, AEN motor, that engine code, super cool stuff. And I was happy that I sold it for $6,500. I made a profit. Bought a 77 Caprice instead. And a couple of years later, I thought, man, I miss these cars. They're handling so good. So good. It's comfortable to travel. 20 grand.
Sure.
No chance to buy anything cheaper now. So
Wow.
So I'm still trying to buy one over here because the market is still kind of okay. I would
Okay.
love to have one.
That's kind of like Sam Moraine's car, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he has the S4 making about almost 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot of custom shit on that one.
That Kelly guy we did the rally with, he had one too, an S4, if I remember. Or maybe that's an older. You're talking an older one though, right?
It's like a C4 or like the B5 models.
C4. Sam's is a 91.
Yeah, that's a C4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they built the C4 in two models. They had the Audi 100 C4. That was the first one they built, and then they had the facelift, the Audi A6/S6. That was basically the same platform, just like facelifted.
Yeah, here I got it right here. It's a 1992 URS4.
Yeah, that's a URS4, the URS4, and that's what I had. And then they had the facelift at the URS6.
Okay.
Yeah, love these cars.
That's a
Super
fun
nice.
platform. Do they have them more figured out in Europe? Are they making any big power on those?
Oh yeah. I know a bunch of people. They're big in Audi and Volkswagen scenes, and they build crazy cars out of these things. One of my good friends owns the fastest Audi in the world right now. So.
Oh yeah.
And same deal. He won everything in Europe that you can imagine, and so he shipped a car to the States last year. I think it was last year. No, it wasn't 23, because his dream was to race at the World Cup finals. You know.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So he did.
Which car is that?
It's a black Audi TT.
What's the name of the
HST.
HST?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fastest TT. You said?
Yeah. It's right. I'm not sure. It was the fastest four-wheel drive Audi in the world for a little bit. There's a guy from Serbia that beat his time this year.
Okay.
But he is coming back stronger for next year with, like, instead of an 88 mil turbo, like a Promo 98 turbo. And
yeah, and that's the Daza platform too, right? In that one.
no, that one is a VR6.
The HST one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Hubi designed a billet VR6 in-house. So he's the first shop that can sell you a billet VR6.
Wow. Okay.
So he designed it in-house. He milled it down the road in a local machine shop. And that thing made like 2041 wheel
Holy
at Fuel
shit.
Tech on the dyno last year.
Oh my God.
And ran 674s, I think. Still all-wheel drive.
That is
Wow.
insane.
And the setup is so crazy. It's a billet VR6. I think it's a 5-speed Liberty, Nissan GTR transfer case,
Okay.
Ford 9-inch rear, and a Porsche Cayenne SUV front end. So
Okay.
it's a tube frame car, so it's a total zombie.
How come you never wanted to go into like that Volkswagen Audi route? Like it just never appealed to you, huh?
Well, the only Volkswagens, like domestic stuff I had, is these two Audis, and I had one car. That was the first pretty new car I bought was a Seat Leon. It's basically an MK4
Okay, sure.
made in Spain.
Okay,
It's the same platform, same everything. They just put another body on there,
sure.
and it's kind of looks more sporty and a little bit more different. But it's the same motor. It's the same 1.9 TDI. It's same everything underneath. Same interior. It just looks different from the outside.
Sure.
Here, I don't even know why you're asking that. This guy screams American muscle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, and then that was my only like accidents in cars. And then, yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. You're as American as the rest of us.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm just trying to convince your visa officer, like, hey, he's an American.
Yeah.
Huh?
If you need character witness, we got
Man,
you.
I can show you my back. I have American flag on the back and the Chevy's bow tie and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
my tattoo guy said, well, that's the first American flag I ever tattooed on anybody. I said, yeah, appreciate that. So
Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we kind of start, I guess, finishing PRI?
I got another quick question.
yeah.
What you got any plans for any other builds?
The what?
You got aspirations for any other builds? Any other builds you want to do or cars you're looking for? Are you Coleman Marketplace all the time still or what?
Yeah. So the next thing I want to do just on the side is I have a 94 OBS truck that I found in the front yard on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Was like $1,500. Looked terrible. So I drove over there 25 minutes. That guy parked it there. He said, yeah, the fuel pump died. I parked it in the front yard and just let it sit there for 2 years. So, but he's moving now. He lived in a trailer and he's moving now for like 2 hours away for work. And I said, yeah, well, what about $900? He said, oh, whatever. So
That's a pretty good deal
yeah,
for a
I pulled the relay for the fuel pump and just cleaned the contacts and put it back in, drove it in the trailer, you know.
It's crazy how
really?
simple those
And that guy was like,
can be.
what the fuck? And then I
It's
figured
not
out
rusty, is it?
not at all. It looks
Really?
terrible. It's a white one, so GM white paint. You know, it looks
Yep.
terrible. It looks like.
Does it have that red interior in it too?
No, it's blue. It's really nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
'Cause
and
normally on the white trucks, I
Yeah.
feel like they put that red interior.
that's what my
in them.
77 Caprice had. It was silver with like the port interior.
Yeah.
Terrible. No, it's actually blue. It's nice. Like seats are cool. So then I figured out I swapped in a new fuel pump, put in a fuel pump in, and then I drove it and I figured out, okay, it's first gear, second gear, no gear. Is that great?
Yeah, it sounds
For
like a
60
GM
power,
They've
So-
got extra neutrals in them.
Yeah. So I found a transmission like 15 minutes away from a Blazer. It was exactly the one I need. I bought it for $250.
Nice.
Put it in there, and I still drive it. I drove it to Little Rock. I drive it around as a shop truck. And my goal is with this thing on the side, when I pull the LS2 out of my Caprice, I want to put it in the OBS truck. I want to put a 871 on there. Just like cut the hood, have a blower and an ATM carb on top, and made the thing with a 8 HP transmission to make it like really nice drivable street truck, so I can travel.
Is it single cab?
It's a single cab.
Single
It's a
cab,
single
okay.
cab long bed.
Yeah, I don't even think they made a single cab short box in those years.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
No, it's a
you gotta
single
make
cab
your
long
own.
bed,
Yeah.
and it's slow as hell.
Yeah.
Like really slow as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it works good. It has cruise control works, kind of. There's some weird bugs in there. AC works great. So I use it as a shop truck and just driving around because driving the truck on 39s every day to work is kind of intense. You know?
Yeah.
And park it somewhere is not good. And like parking garages are way too small. So
Yeah.
I drive that thing. I don't care if somebody smashes the door in there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we took it to the airport when we fly outside of the States and visit mom, or we just park it a week in the airport and I don't care, you know.
Right.
They can't break it or so. Yeah, that's something I want to do. Put a 8 HP transmission there, make it good drivable LS with a blower 8-speed truck. That would be great. That's something I would love to do.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And talking with my wife yesterday, actually we talked sometime and like multiple times. She would love to start drag racing by herself. So maybe looking into buying some kind of cheap roller, you know. And she made a pet. So Alex Taylor asked me, said, "Hey, we're renting the Tulsa track to test the 55." I said, "Yeah, cool." So she said, "You want to bring the Caprice? You can drive there like the whole day." I said, "Well, appreciate it. That's cool." So we drove up there, and I have to say, after I built my Caprice, we put it on my buddy's hub dyno. Fourth pull, it blew up the drive shaft, wiped out transmission, floor, cross member, exhaust, everything I just built. So I was kind of nervous. I never raced the car. I rebuilt everything, put a bigger drive shaft, like a Dom steel drive shaft, 3-inch in there. And I'm driving it, but I never raced it since then because I was kind of nervous. So I told Alex, yeah, cool. I will come up to Tulsa and make some passes. So I eased into the passes, not too fast, don't destroy it, please don't blow up the drive shaft. And then Alex had the idea, hey, let your wife drive it. She never made a pass, and it's not like a wild car. She can just taste how it is, And then so Alex and Dennis tried to convince her for like 30 minutes, and then finally she was sitting in my 20-inch Kirky seat, and we stuffed shirts and we stuffed all kinds of stuff behind her so she can reach the pedals.
Yeah.
Because it's mounted without sliders. It's just built for me.
Yeah.
So and Alex gave it a helmet. Here, like, put the helmet on her head, and she didn't care about my car. She was like, I was on the passenger seat, and she was just stomping the loud pedal, and she made a faster pass than I did ever in that car. So everybody was like, "Ooh, you should let your wife drive. She's way faster than you."
I had my wife gets better times than I do. I've only been on a drag strip like a couple times, and we went in her car, and she was able to get faster times.
Yeah, it was a very funny situation. She didn't think about blowing up the drive shaft or whatever. She just pedaled to the metal, She said, "Honey, please shift." It's a full manual shifter, so she said, "Can you do that?" I said, "Yeah." So she just stomped the pedal, and I used the shifter, and it was like an 1146 or whatever. I said, "Man, that's the fastest pass for that car ever that I ever did." So then I had to make another one, and they didn't film it. So if you watch Alex Taylor's YouTube video, she has the fastest pass in that whole video, and everybody was low, nice. But she said, it was kind of cool. I like it. I would love to do more, But I said, it's hard. If I build my car, I build it for my size. So the cage will be for my size, the seat, the steering wheel, all these things, She
just
can
get a bigger wife.
No, I love my wife.
Yeah,
like
all
it
right.
is. I don't know. Perfect. Just buy a bigger wife.
Yeah, I just see it seems like a logical solution here.
No, I just build another car.
Yeah.
It's like all the people say, "Hey, you should lose weight." I said, "No, I just build a new motor. It's better,
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Lose some weight, you're faster. Well, I just buy a bigger turbo. It's better.
That's the solution.
That's the solution. Yeah, we just need to make more power.
Yeah,
That's
throw her in a
easier.
Fox body with an LS.
I actually thought about something like this, but I can't do a Fox body. I
No?
can't do a Ford now.
You just don't like Ford that much, huh?
Well, I don't hate them, but
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan,
Yeah. No, I'm in the same. I don't like GM. So yeah.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like cars like the Snot Rock and stuff. I mean, wow, And that Mustang we tuned on the dyno with a stock Coyote, making over 900. Like, wow.
Yeah.
But I'm more the like GM and LS things and big blocks and
Sure.
that's
Who
more
did the
my thing.
tuning on the Mustang?
Mead Motorsports out of Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Okay.
So he did a great job. He did the motor, transmission tune, everything. So really,
Okay. Cool.
really cool. And he did another car for a friend of mine. It's a 4-something LS with a big Pro Charger on it, and on the E85 with a 4-speed Lenco transmission. Pretty cool car. That thing made like 1140 on the dyno last week or so. So
Oh, wow.
pretty cool dude. He's racing a BMW with an LS turbo. Pretty fast car. And I want to do something. Buy a cheap roller. Maybe I buy a Fox body. I don't know if the price is right.
Yeah.
Maybe at least it must be an LS. So
Right. Yeah.
I got extras.
And,
Maybe I need to give him a Fox body. I just love to give away Fox bodies to GM guys.
I had a Fox body.
Did you?
Yeah, I bought it dirt cheap. I found a Ford Mustang Cobra,
Oh yeah.
that 4-cylinder turbo deal.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
a-
So
with
an '80s one.
with a 4-speed manual.
Yep. I have one of those laying around.
A random dealership had it in their yard, and I drove by and said, "What is that?" "Oh yeah, somebody like traded it for something, and it's here. We have no idea what to do with it. You want to buy it for $1,500?" I said,
It had
"I
the
bu-
snake on the hood.
I said, "I buy it for $1,500, not
Really?
a problem." And he said,
Is
"Yeah,
this
it's-
in Austria or
yeah,
here?
that was in Austria."
Okay.
And he said, "Yeah, it's kind of tuned. There's a weird box on the glove box, and I don't know. There was some kind of turbo guard that somebody installed. There was a box like this big
Yeah.
on the glove box, and it had that turbo light. So
Yep.
as soon as you hit boost, it was like turbo, and that was the best part about that car.
Yeah.
It was
it
slow
the
as hell.
black and green combination?
No,
What
it
color?
was silver black with the orange thing. on the
Okay.
hood.
Okay.
And I drove it for a little bit, but it was way too small for me. It was a pain. I drove it around a little bit. It was cool. I built an exhaust so you can hear the turbo. It was that 2.5 liter.
Yeah, 2.3.
2.3 with that carburetor.
Yep.
That is before the turbo, so it pulled. I don't know if that's a thing over here, but that had the turbo and the carburetor was before the turbo, so it sucked the whole mixture through the turbo into the motor. It was kind of weird.
Okay.
I popped the hood and said, "Yeah, well, that's weird. You had the carburetor, you had the turbo," and said,
Yeah.
huh.
It was the 70s and 80s. We didn't know what we were doing just yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it worked good, kind of.
They're not bad. I mean,
I remember
it's really sad is they were making, so they didn't have the 302 then. It was like a 255 V8 back then.
I thought they had the 5 liter in there.
What's that?
I thought they had the 5 liters in these models.
No,
too.
not till 82 GT they brought the 5.0. It was government stuff, right? They couldn't have that displacement. So I think
My
the
favorite
V8
thing,
and that 2.3 turbo made like the same horsepower.
Okay.
Which is sad.
That's crazy. That thing was, I mean, it was fun to drive. It was way too small for me. I'm 6'5", you know.
Yeah.
But it was fun to drive, and I had a Mustang at one point in my life.
Just needs an LS.
Yeah. Well, no, I will do a Fox body for her. It's probably a good
Do
car
you
to
need
start.
do you need a title or doors or any of that stuff? For if you're just gonna do just a race car, do you want to street it too or no?
No, I want to street it.
Okay.
So if I would love to bring her into the drag and drive stuff too.
Right,
But now I have to bring her to the track and be consistent, have more seat time, you know, be comfortable with the vehicle, and then we just go from there. We will see what we can do.
Well, if you decide you want a shell, I got a shell. I'll give you. It's clean,
That's
but it's
good to
just
know,
a shell. But
That's good to know.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff around where we're from in Boonville,
I know.
Arkansas. There's so much stuff. My buddy drove all the way from Chicago and some other friends, and he said it's incredible. They're building a 57 Lincoln right now as a drag and drive car. That's one of the biggest car I ever saw.
yeah,
It's only 2,400 pounds when it's done, so everything is fiberglass. It's a chromoly dual frame rail chassis. And he came to Boonville because, you know, Nicky Bobby Inc., Nick Taylor, and the Uncle Sam Camaro.
I'm not too familiar.
So he bought the whole drivetrain from Nick Taylor's car, and they pulled it out. We put it in a pallet. I ship it all the way to Austria. He will finish the car, and then he will ship the whole car back to the States to do drag and drive. So that's pretty cool. And they drove down all the way from Chicago to Arkansas. And I said, man, there's so much stuff around. And I literally found a 58 Lincoln in a front yard, and we stopped there. He sent me the location, everything. He said, please, Tom, try to contact that guy. I need a bunch of parts and trim and all kinds of stuff from that stuff. It's just rotting in the field, you know? And that's still amazing that you can find stuff like that just somewhere.
I'll drive through, like when we go to Texas or something like that, I try and get off the beaten path when I'm driving up through the southern states, and especially some of those rural areas, you know, Arkansas, Kansas.
Incredible.
Yeah. Just to see what you can see on the side of the road.
Especially we're from a country where you can't even wash your own car in your driveway. It's illegal, you know.
Oh, really?
For real?
And you can't store a bunch of stuff in your yard or backyard or wherever.
Especially Dan. Oh, God.
I'd be screwed.
You'd be in prison for
Yeah.
life.
A friend of mine went to vacation. He came back home, had a letter on his house that he has to remove his. He did drifting with BMWs, like old E30s and stuff, and they sent him a letter that he has to remove the cars because of the contamination of ground and stuff. And he said, well, there's no motor in there. But they said, yeah, there is a rear end in there, there's fluid in there, and there's brake lines, and there's this. So he had to remove all the cars from the yard that he saved to fix his drift car, you know?
Yeah.
So it's stupid. If you have anything else than a car and 4 tires in your garage, they find the shit out of you.
Wow.
Really?
So yeah, it's I can talk an hour about
Sounds
regulations
miserable.
and stuff. But it's just miserable, and it makes me mad that. And then you talk to a lot of people overseas, and they hate America and this and that, and all the current situation with Trump and everything is so bad. They would never travel. And I said, well, they don't need you over there anyway.
Yeah.
If you think like
That's
that,
fine.
trust
Bye.
me. Yeah. Well, I would never go to the States. I said, yeah, well, then don't go to the States, you know.
Yeah.
We don't need you here. I love it here, and I love the people. I love this freedom that we can do whatever we want, and
Yeah.
hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Yep.
That's a good note to end on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to pop the usual 3?
Yeah. All right. So at the end of every episode, we like to ask our guests to pick 3 cars. I need a track car, a daily driver, and a show car. You have an unlimited budget. You can build whatever you want.
Daily driver, probably an Escalade. That was
Okay.
one of my favorite cars ever.
Okay.
I tried to buy one when we moved. Then I bought a Yukon, but
Okay.
put Escalade taillights in there. So kind of built my own one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a daily driver. Track car, like drag race or
Any
something.
Whatever
kind of
track you want, man.
That's hard. Track car for drag racing, probably my car with a very good drivetrain because I'm just a fan of a Caprice. Like a box Chevy is
Yeah.
how I thought as a kid the car looks like square and 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was the third one?
Show car
Show car.
or show truck.
That's very hard to say. That's very hard. Show car. I'm still a fan of a Grand National.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Grand National was one of my dream cars. Then I had we imported one for a customer to the shop, and I had to do some work on it, and I drove it. And I said, it's a great looking car, but I hated how that thing drove, and
Yeah.
it was kind of weird. So I said, okay, I'm done. Also, a H1 Hummer was one of my dream cars. Then I drove one. It was the worst experience ever. It was a civilian version.
Yep.
Stupid expensive. And the guy brought it to the shop to do some paperwork stuff, and
Yeah.
then I drove it, and it was just terrible. I said, nope, not on my list anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably a Grand National with a proper motor
Okay.
and
Okay.
drivetrain.
I do. So again, I'm not a GM guy, but again, I like cars and I can appreciate everything. But I would buy a Grand National
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a good looking.
It's
car.
a good. The way they put that car together looks good. But
Yeah, I can't think of any Ford that I would like.
That's okay. You got some time to think.
I shared, and now he won't share.
No, don't get me wrong. Like something like that 57 Fairlane that the
Yeah.
guy brought. That's just a badass car. I would. That'd be correct. I would daily drive that thing with a proper drivetrain.
Okay. What's a proper drivetrain?
Not a Ford motor, probably.
He's gonna put an LS in that too, of course.
Yeah, something modern, like a modern fuel injected.
Oh, like an LT then?
LT 8-speed, 10-speed transmission, just like a really modern drivetrain.
Sure.
Because the car itself, it just looks so great,
Okay.
and it's so comfortable.
Cool.
Customer told me, yeah, you can drive it at the Christmas parade that we had in our town, and it's sitting on your couch driving a cool car. It sounds great, and that's something I would love to have.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Where can everybody find you?
We in Boonville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's hard to find us because it's Boonville, Arkansas. No,
got-
no, we everywhere. We try to go to a lot of events and races and stuff. But yeah,
Sure.
we in Boonville, Arkansas, and right down the road from Alex Taylor's shop and
Sure.
Dennis Taylor's shop. And
Any website or anything? Instagram, anything?
yeah, we have Instagram, Lucky Performance LLC, Facebook too.
Sure.
I do a lot of TikTok, but that's in German, so that's probably not interesting for a lot of people over here. And I started a YouTube channel when we moved over here. I would say first year and a half I did the YouTube in German.
Sure.
I used to speak some German, a little bit.
You?
Yeah.
cool.
So my parents met in Germany. They were army brats.
Ah.
So they met. They're both my grandparents. They were stationed over there,
Cool.
so they met there. And I remember growing up, they would speak German at the dinner table,
That's
all
cool.
that stuff. So I took German 1 and 2, and my teacher thought I had a good accent, and I enunciated well
Cool.
because listening to it growing up, you know. But I've lost all that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say your
Keep up
teacher's
on
a
it.
liar.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Our daughter, like I said, she came over here when she was 7, and we started to talk with her in English since she was born. So my mom was an English teacher before, so
Yeah.
she started to talk English with her since she was born. Because we had the plan, we had everything lined out so far, so we know she had to learn English. So now she's in pre-K and she has friends, and so we started to speak German with her again so she can learn.
Yeah.
She understands both languages, like not a problem. I can tell her everything in English or German. She will answer mostly in English, but she's mixing in a lot of German words, and
Yeah.
and her pronunciation, her accent, like somebody said the other day, she speaks fluid cornbread.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like Southern, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, hey y'all, you know, like
Yeah.
hard. It's so funny. We just talked to her on the phone. My mom is with her back in the house, and
Yeah.
I said, hey, so how are you? And she said, I said, hey, bye-bye, we'll see you tomorrow. And she was like, love y'all, you know, like
That's funny.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Well, awesome, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. We hope to have you again. I'm excited to see where your journey goes. See what else.
Yeah,
I
if you want to
usually
see, sorry to interrupt. If you want to see more stuff, I switched
sure.
my YouTube channel to English.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So the last videos are in English, and you
Okay.
can understand that. And
Sweet.
Trying to make videos about the Caprice project, some other stuff.
Yeah.
The project we have for my employee, he bought a El Camino that Dennis had 20
nice.
years behind his
Yeah, yeah.
shop. So we call it the Trash Camino because it was a trash can for him for scrap
Sure.
metal. So yeah, and I would love to gain more followers and do more YouTube and.
I'm excited to see how your journey goes, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Everybody's excited. Like my
Yeah.
wife, my friends, and stuff. And
Yeah, can't wait to see how this goes.
we're so thankful for everything we can do over here.
Yeah, man. We'll keep on keeping on. Dan, thanks for existing, and we'll see you next time.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you.